Awesome. Help.
Mình mới về
Săn nó lên thì lâu.
nơi này nhiều luôn. Thêm cả ngon.
Cái tấm chuốc cái gì đâu.
Nó là đỡ không biết không. Thôi nó chỉ sao ta kan. Không nữa.
Thổ nó. À tụi nó cạo ba cái luôn hả? Ê ơi, nó cạo ba cái nấu thật tí cái gì.
Ngon.
Lúc sau AFK giúp ngay. AFK
Marked
giúp
location.
đầu tiên lúc mình đi nghỉ. À mình đi khát.
Cô phở bom đâu. Mặc về không mà.
Cái dấu các bạn. Các bạn. Ê. 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 Thôi cái này.
Booster của nó.
Ê, chúng ra đi hiểu. Dạ. Chúng ra cái nào. Restrict area kan. Có snipe lên cái đồ. Lên à.
Ê ta
Ê,
của
zoom
nó.
sát, zoom sát. Lấy. Ô,
Watch
zoom sát.
out.
Ô, mua rồi đấy.
Help.
Các ngươi liên tục.
Help.
Chỉ sao không
À,
gì.
chơi giờ khác lộ về là chơi giờ này sẽ cả full level rồi.
Please recall me. Awesome. Okay.
Không tổ đâu.
मदद करो मदद करो
Để coi nó.
Bà là poi sao mà một trong
मदद
nhiều
करो
some task mình lo complete some sorry cái mà một poi sao bây giờ am lấy ngay
लोकेशन मार्क చేశాను
bây giờ am lấy ngay à free khá tại cái tool rất ngay à lấy nó thấy à complete thấy à usum đều in
May napakatulog. Eh. Yung matches. Buta na yun.
musuh pani chứ con gì cái mua bị đông rồi
Please
Don't
recall
name.
me.
cái mua lấy này em đấy
मदद करो
cái xin này đâu vì hát cái sòng complete cái là đồ này
Same.
à
Sabak ka na yun.
sòng hát sòng sari tu ngay sòng sari tal chính sòng sút lên tục Đấy, đi đi bị bắn thì lấy tóc mọi người. DP number 4 kan recall lang eh.
Please recall me.
Nước sabi lahi dali lo ri to male te ti male a ti khat ni thok ma bi kan yang Singapore thok ma view ni a hi mem recall
Ừ.
Paris về mấy mấy ta số những à cả recall
I'm
hay đồ
recalling a teammate. Thanks.
Ê, sao mình không làm?
ప్రమాదం పొంచుంది.
Excellent work.
ấy chiếc sông lôi lên hôm nay à
Ê, dai nó.
Watch
mấy đồng
out.
cặp bang cho mình cặp các kia cặp phù cái này thì cà phê spark hắt mà phù đâu
Help.
ప్రమాదం
Tapo
పొంచుంది.
đây bạc hạt đây
Marked an
đây ta khi
enemy's death crate.
cho sao cũng cặp rồi anh hill mẹ hey đây ta khi
ప్రమాదం
ô xuống xuống đó
పొంచుంది.
hey cho sao
Tuk tuk.
cho đây cho hình chim hút tâm đó hey đây tụ cái rồng ta không em hút tâm đúng không
Lối,
Ấy,
lối
cho
tắt
mình
lúc rồi nó bắt
Touch
đầu
đây ấy các bạn lút hơi à không
Awesome.
tao tu na ha tinge ka ka tlu lo le khal tu ha mi ron sum han sha a ru ve ching ching a sin le
Anh chỉ biết có mình
thế rep pa ti chi lo ku bu lo
cái mùa số cho đến cái cặp một này.
phải không cái này thì em rất như này có thấy ngắm le dp pa hi đây ngắm le claim rồi cho sao buổi sáng rất như này đâu mo buổi sáng rất như này chụp
Mình
hoa
vào
rồi ui ở đấy này tôi còn lấy khá luôn
Ê,
sàn cho bạn lại có lấy văng văng thôi tạ rồi để rồi RP sẽ complete don't thấu thấu
Watch out.
kebulan motor telan yo
người còn
cái DP bật guys kebulan aku step pati om bot low phao cầm hông lầu tổ mấy không có bị tổ đâu player arm complete na cho dấu tổ thì không nghe không đâu không step vào vô đi bảo thôi mấy tổ đâu có lấy về tổ DP để sniper là kinh đó chế ngã chết cái này bán đó thôi tu tông ai nó tục
Let's go, let's go.
chỉ là mình thật tu mình vẫn nóc tu thì hơn là phần thật về lệ đồn mà hơn thật về mấy cơ thì nó tục
Help!
cái này chỗ thấy đó léo chết bê
lượt rồi lật cho thằng
về
nghỉ
đầu thế đấy cà về miếng ở tủ
Mà đây anh
conนี้ก็คนนี้เป็น
Watch out!
ao về
tỷ
We're the best.
bạn kiếm ba ngày do kiếm hay nhỉ
vui thum ở zone chicken không xỉa đấy
là làm rồi lâu em nghĩ ông gì à nó mà chỉ rồi lâu
có ông
ao bây giờ này tuần sắp ở tủ tu na ha RP din boost kan RP ka dong mi lo có complete task check complete nok so bala nok bây giờ cái den lock ba hầu về
hồi tuần hồi sẽ tụm tên đi phát đi complete tuần hồi sẽ tụm tên thực thể nào
appoint apokre na kala mo rebate point na kal dei ni appointed kha kala ya ten kha advance nin kal lai ti na ni kha aba hau le ka dong pa thei dom ko dia vedi ro abus na te kha kala ya rebate thei ha thế bây giờ có outlook mà
thì lệ to yêu đấy tên life về là to quy tụ anh đấy tên
I won my last match.
thì lúc đấy anh ông phát về ra không bên số những bảy cũng sẵn diện và là dây
I won my last match. I won my last match.
get in don't forget to do
chỉ sợ chăm thiếu mà
cứ dâm thiềm đó tụ cần thling sờ bẹt đôn rồi đồ cần thủ ta trên
Anh
nào
cặp đón cái đấy.
in cặp to này
Kuyang
anh
yang
in
cặp
cặp
đón.
mà là cần trúng vua rồi là anh cần là đồn nằm mò cần thling sờ bẹt đồn thì cũng mình tặng cho đấy
Lấy căn chắc
à
thằng chứ
thling
đấy.
sờ bẹt ông cháu còn ông là trên thì cần thling sờ bẹt là im tủ mấy lâu mấy mấy nhỉ ha như thế cần thling sờ bẹt là ăn chung lệ vậy đâu gì ha mình sâu lệ lâu
Anh nói thêm.
oh như đồng cặp rất mấy
Chu number 4 nama mi chu kan ditang.
Help!
Các một thầy lâu number 4 thì lạc lộ người tên
Watch
bạc đặc
out!
anh lụt rồi này em nay là em bạc chết lụt
Làm sao?
rồi cặp to cặp thiếm bị con này này ông zoom là
Marked a
rồi lụt trên
location.
map rồi
Help!
push ná khá mình ok sẵn rồi bảo là khi là muông luôn tụi à rồi đi có cùng cặp rồi đó ồ anh phải tỏ biết lâu mình cặp rồi bao cũng hết rồi
Đó là trong cái rừng cặp sao làm sao mà đây?
thì rồi
Bây giờ thì con có rồi. Sao?
à vẫn đang sinh cặp trong hoàn thì đó military aga pangparan lo pathatangu paisa mà mo không chỉ để giúp don mi mà sẽ tắm thầy là vắng chân giúp hostel fee cái bia cái paisa giúp mang cho và mi mà sẽ vui thum tí là vui thum gì là và tí mi là à bôi là vắng cái vui lý địa lòng có thể chuyên sẽ UPI full sọc là tụi bà vui dân như đồng thể chuyên mò vai là cái chân cái cái đồng thể sao cái gì à tụi vắng anh à cái tí chả thôi ôm mi rồi còn chỉ là
Nhìn ông
sắp
bay
sẽ
nằm
thì là
đâu.
treo đòn nó thế về
Cần
thì
nó thế này.
Help!
nhiều mấy vui cả thằng pick chứ ạ
Bây giờ trong
đặt
này
rồi lại in là hiền vui cả thằng pick chứ hát trong hoa rồi này bạc để mình lụt trên bốc
Help!
ui ha,
tha cả bao hàn
vẫn chính về làm xuân chia luôn
gật
về.
cả căn vé không là vé lọc căn đòn căn là cáp đặt đòn ấy cái này thì
Tú mà có khi là tao tầm rây. Bây giờ tôi đang kia.
cái cáp cam được không cái cặp cam khá cặp bên policy po có đứng lầu cái này 157 bà là anh dẫn cái đâuนี่กับพวกไหนที่น่าอมประคับ
Marked a location.
Help me, cái C4.
tahan safe ở sót lầu là có đó
Rồi à đấy, số ông mới tụi mình cặp.
ở đây chỉ đấy được số em phô rồi không phải tao lâu skin chỗ này chọc phiêu mấy mà so
Watch out!
cái này chọc phiêu lấy tiền so bagi one plan còn bot cặp tiền rồi cũng nà bot cặp lại nà không một thầy đâu
Don't give up.
không một thầy đâu
Your teammates can still recall you.
cuốn đấy đâu
Mình tao mới đột cao what the fuck.
tôi thấy là lông ít là lông cả hết cặp luôn có cặp luôn có vấp thì như tiếng cười đó nó thật lâu đấy ấy
Tạ vào cái lông.
cặp buli đôn cái tí xinเลยsố năm chân đầu câu đôn đó mình muốn gì hả số năm chân đầu câu đôn phim cô rồi bagi sport khá chân nông bagi là cụ bên đầu lán
Chết lại in hạt sẵn mà.
số số pola số năm cái này pola phải cái là bằng to rồi có lắm anh nói thế đang sự bắn tiền đó nè mà sẽ tắm thầy rồi là băng anh thân dụ với thông ngắn chỉ cho là thấy em mà ngày sự
Bố toát chọc bố đi nhỉ ngỏ.
tắm thầy là mới trả ba cái bể nền lâu nền hostel Sophie rồi phải lâu là tắm mất đằng
So please Dorikai.
cái gu ra accessories trong nó có lấy bệnh gì số mi thu ông xong cả lông ôi yêu có open thầy đâu chả po ba ngày po cái tết xuống lâu có gu ra accessories xong cả lông ôi có lút thầy đâu đâu sao yêu open thầy vang tục ông xếp tục mất rồi
Mình nghĩ
ông gì à bảo tôi con tụi đi ăn phân lâu nè còn lút thầy lâu em mà tôi rồi ông anh lút tây lâu ông được chứ nào squat khát con lâu hả được con nào vất vả lắm nhé đây đúng hiện ông gì hi anh này tụi đi cần đất sẽ lâu anh ai đây đúng anh lặng đi lấy open chili đây em ngồi secret item số này cái ring rất về thôi
I'm recalling a teammate.
thánh lắm lại cái lớp mông này
Thanks.
buggy cơ.
Em force ôi ôm lên ôi ôm lên
ôi ông cái đồ cái lút về tuồng lút tổ su
아헤 엔딩이 또 하면은 아 FPS 받래 뭐 에 그뭐 제이 살았어요
sẽ là gái sáng có thì bây
니잖아 에 키리 알뚜루 메이지야 키리 아 앵라와 뭐래 에밀라
em là
파이플로
cái sắp nữa là gì kiểu như chú anh biết kiểu chú bộ mình sửa con phụ về mình rồi mình sửa dùng dùng thật dùng dùng
쓰던 송 저절로
cái chú phụ đồ trong diện chân lậu gì tàn về bởi vì mặc thầy thế là không ai thổi ta rồi đó đây giờ lại bật đi khỏi chơi cái sao thằng nào ở đây người bật đi
Number 4, number
쪽 레벨
4.
뭐야 넘버 4 한커 파이돈치야 너무 마저기 갈다제 좀 까빈 것이야
Quay như nát lón. Nắm bắt các bạn dù về quay có thung mình lắm ạ. Em mà tao rồi.
에울로
À đó còn lâu mà nè. Smoke cái này nó nè.
Watch out! It's safe here! Save me!
어이 마이 갓
Smoke cái này nó.
빨리 쏘러
Cái này nghe
래
tổng phở.
톱 mẹ tôi mà cắt bột đây rồi và hắn ác thác cái mà ta rồi mà chỉ còn là một tôi đã rồi bù là một tôi đã rồi bạn đang cho ngay không nó bây giờ vâng ê khởi thì hai rồi cái đó
Nó còn uy về number 4 lâu thì để măn thì
tao xử mấy rồi tí hai lần vẫn là bay cái là bay ở ngay
thì dùng chơi
bay tụi dùng ở lộ
chắc tới được xuống
anh
để mình
đơn chỉ nào
Những mới tí thôi.
킬 빨라 OTP 지금 I don't know
nói đó này kiểu bảo đó nó chi kiểu bảo là thì lý giải được DC thế à sao có lấy đồ yeah I know copy chắc là ta cũng vậy nghe có hiền nè cái tao từng ăn đũa mày đũa mình bật lên
Thế thôi.
chỉ số rung rút lại mấy mấy luôn hồi đầu ốc để buộc xì đầu bị thấu chưa ốc tụm đầu em mini bay
ఆకాశాన్ని అంటుతున్న బంగారం ధరలు పెళ్లిల సీజన్ కావడంతో ఏం చేయాలో తెలియక ఇబ్బంది
asa lal ngawin thal zo se le le double tap lo de khan tap le zo zo ila double tap karo bhaiya shilin ka soi thiam lo
Run out le wak si
kan wei mi tu moi eng mi moi wei pa le team ko ta ron join the
cái về đi sộp hiện exam còn tất tỏ đó nữa cơ
nuam exam ve chak tap ta ni chu team code sudan ni ta friendly sign lu tanga heta dot pathuma hian download zone dot pathuma in lu tanga local team in lu lenga join team ti lo mang ta chon hemi code hin chuang chiang em a chiang fek fokem a chiang em ni zam puching ti khan kan wei nangma hobin streamer ace in ti are bhaiya kan wei thak do ne le pakhat lo lu ro le cái chú một thari mi sual an tlem tuka ka pe vak lo sina tha a hlui zo khan nuam zo ka ti he zo hi mi sual an tam zo ka mo
tha lo zo ka aladi nam te wa ti zo la nom zo
ala din kha mi sual an tlem la tu mo ta chi mi sual an nom a phun samai voi thum kan no
no ka ti te zo
a
te ya ka on ka che ta ve nang bo zo ka chong ta ka
ka tla che to ni hi ma hi mo ka ri thai to kan ni chu mo open for all la paisa ka mang zo pe lo mo hak tur to ka nei to la
ang zo ka mo ti na
What perfect weather for a desert adventure!
Apo lo nó chơi sao cái spin là buổi sáng rồi đó thì xong quá tao cho recharge về được em mới làm vui chị nó đục lệ bốc xí rồi ê chết lăng cái bấy đầu tôi đang nói ô
When you're weary and worn, just picture an oasis in front of you.
không thật sự vậy cái scooty khi em vắt chết vậy à nó chết như sao khi à nói có vật cái đó khá là vừa rồi à
Together, with Belleric and Florin, we'll turn these dunes into a flourishing oasis.
biết như thế lớn này à nâng mà anh đâu Pakzyy biết nữa chân nằng nang kum so prai ting che pa les thari kum so pro tro nim
ani chu ni to
to les chu zo tay lut le don ti dam me
ani chu chu
Tiurut chua.
Kuti so shem a check the chak chumo the sang Christmas hunter ka che pa ne she kha kan be kin kot garage is kutin da den chok she she tero tilai a step na kha kan da to shem so kan na chua kha hey kan rest thut lo she shem kan thlo ka che arang
ni lo vi come here. Lo zo ni ka soi zo chuo okay so a le nung len pam ra ngai to lo
a thep do ri ti dan
pam ra ngai chi da Dette her til
I life về kìa hủ đồ rộng ngon rồi
ngai lo
ngọ
अभी शून्य पर बैठी हुई है क्या नई चीजें वो इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं वर्टिकल सा में देखने को मिलता हुआ वेस्टर्न साइड ऑफ द मैप को फेवर करता हुआ एंड उसी के साथ going on around here because I can see at least 4 or 5 teams in the nearby vicinity. Steel Falcons did have a decent day, especially how they closed off Miramar yesterday. But now, White Walkers, they're in the midst of the battle, and look at how separated they are from each other. Royal Academy, Noyan is going to have a go at it. Another grenade flung over, but everybody is feeling very annoyed at this very exact moment. And now just staying up put. Not really moving around with Poison. He made a small mistake, but this is something that Allied forces can really live with. They've got another chance at life, but Abhi, he wants a trade, and so shall he get. It seems like this knock has come from elsewhere, Necro.
Indeed it has. Look at Insane YouTube as well. They've already messed things up. White Walkers, Murnox still trapped in this building, and for Steel Falcons, it's going to be date with destiny. They would want to capitalize on this, but how do they make the pounce? The man up top has got his hands on the S12K. He can flip the odds in his favor anytime. And Steel Falcons really thinking it through. That one staircase, it's too narrow. You cannot even push through. Two players cannot move up at the same time, so Steel Falcons, they will have to push it one by one, and that's where the advantage really swings in the hands of Murnox. Utilities being tossed as well, and this nade, it's going to find a frag against Esports Social. The big man's down, but still there's that second player to get that revival. But look at Addy, he wants to make that pounce as well, wants to hand out the death blow. It's not going to be that easy.
Yeah, it's going to be quite difficult, given Esports Social right off the back. They have been throttled off, but look at this. Monarchs, he's been charged upon. The cavalry does arrive. Aditya does provide that support fire. But Monarchs, he's been dealt with. Steel Falcons, believing in numbers, instantly pushing up. Of course, Monarchs did have that S12K to play around. But of course, got overwhelmed in that situation. So, of course, at this point, you know, White Walkers not feeling comfortable. They have been surrounded with foes from every direction. And Vegito, what was he even doing there?
Almost, the man could have been cut off. But for White Walkers, they're taking two different fights on two different fronts. Murnox was challenging Steel Falcons all by himself, and of course he's taken care of. But now the remaining players of White Walkers, they're up against a completely different team, and that's going to be RE. How do you take care of them? It's going to be a tough pill to swallow for them. And they're not going to let you chew away just like that. Steel Falcons still waiting for at least one mistake from the front. But that's not going to happen that easily. White Walkers as well taking their own sweet little time. And now the utilities as well, they come into the picture.
Especially with such limited util numbers. It's so difficult for all these teams to actually initiate the fight once again. So everybody has to count their eggs and really stay still. Just have to wait it out for somebody to make a mistake. But where's the contingency plan? That's what is getting me worried. The good thing is that Murnox, the revive has been triggered. So of course they're back to full strength. I hope he makes it back towards his teammates, but we're seeing fights happen left, right and center.
Yeah.
Even Chris OP getting a couple of confirmation, and D10 finally, congratulations, they've opened up their accounts and they've in fact secured 4 finishes. So that is a good start.
I'm telling you, man. D10, they're going to make a bounce back with a massive chicken dinner straight up on top of the board.
Why not?
It's going to be a surprise. And we all will be just astonished sitting over here on our chairs, thinking, how did they just make it happen? But yeah, that's the fun part about just having 6 games in your hands. The overall standings are not going to run too far away from you. They will always be in reach. The cutoff will be there. And now looking at Steel Falcons, they want to make that pounce. And eventually, what a good wraparound that was. Both the players working in tandem. The communication was perfect. But now another man from our East right there in the front. He wanted to lob an aid, but instead just backs away now because he knows Steel Falcons, they've taken over this building. And I love this aggression coming through from Steel Falcons. Really thinking it through, taking their sweet little time to know exactly where the foes are positioned. And now White Walkers, they were ready for this ambush. White Walkers with this trap, they actually do find the frags as well. And just like that, Steel Falcons, they've been shut down around this area.
Beautiful crossfire setup, but Aditya surely cannot celebrate at this point. Royal Academy, they want to pounce on this opportunity that they have. And look at White Walkers, they're separated from each other. Vegito and his teammate, oh, there you go, those mistakes really creep in. Aditya could not provide the cover fire in time. Slightly distraught there. Now left to fend for himself. All his teammates will get the revive though. But Aditya, it's his moment of glory. Run onto situation, and there you go. He's also been picked off, but nothing to worry about since they will be having another go at it. But right now, T10 on a collision course against the likes of High Flyers. And both these teams, they have been struggling. They need a lot of points.
D10 going for that revival. And once again, Gyro makes it happen successfully. Now the man wants to back away to safety. High Flyers. Yesterday, one of the games was decent, but after that, High Flyers have been messing up constantly. But now D10 really want to pounce on top of the opportunity. Got a little too greedy in that scenario, but it's fine. They've still got the recalls. So T10, the man will be back up on the board. It's not a concern, but they still need to be a little bit more careful. This fight can be theirs. Now High Flyers also getting shot at from the back. It's going to be the boys of RU. Elimination point stolen away, but T10, they're not done with the fight yet, as now they start taking shots against RU as well. Addy shut down. I'm loving this aggression from T10. Not scared of the fight. Loki does not even have any meds, neither utilities, and he's still moving forward to get his hands on the meds.
Look at that. That feels like a present for him. A first aid lying out in the open, and he's going to take it with open arms. Patch himself up once again, and a beautiful reset nonetheless. For T10, 6 points secured already. Should be eyeing out for at least 15 plus points in this game. Rondo could be turning the tables for them, but for Esports Social, 4 finishes, and it's such an electrifying start to this game of Rondo that we've seen, like always. As Esports Social, this time, they'll be playing around the edges. Even Super Esports also chime into the action, and a fight against T10 is now imminent.
Oh no, T10 getting absolutely ripped apart. Losing out on 2 players, and that's got to feel a little bit of a stinger.
They have 2 revives though.
Yeah, but still, even D10's doing a fantastic job keeping the boys of Super Esports in check. Super Esports as well, losing out on one of their own men, so it's not going to be good news for them either. They need to be a little bit more cautious. The next circle's going to be popping up, and it takes a curveball and shift right on top of Esports Social. They find themselves around the lucky spectrum. Even Team Actions, they found themselves on the lucky side of the bed. And now look at this, Allied Forces a bit far away from the zone itself. How does Allied Forces now push themselves? How do they position themselves in a good spot inside of the circle?
Yeah, it's one of those uncommon circles, and it's a hybrid one at that. River line separating between those 2 land areas, but Rising Star officials, they've got the players of Allied Forces in front of them. Abhi, he's got a fight against the blue, but Poison stings him, and there you go, Rising Stars. They're falling down piece by piece as Allied Forces will be increasing their tally. 3 finishes is what they're sitting at, and quite comfortably. At this point, pretty much, Necro, they're just enjoying themselves. They know they've qualified. It's all about setting benchmarks. I think the goal for Allied Forces would be to maybe cross over 60+ points. Is that possible?
Definitely a possibility. And I was looking at the boys of T10. There's only 3 men still on the block from the side of T10. And on the map, the 2 of the players from T10 are all the way up north, and 1 man, Loki, is all the way down south. That separation, it's really going to cost him a lot later on. Something needs to be done. Esports Social as well now getting absolutely pounced. And this fight's happening all the way out in the blue, by the way. So yeah, wanted, the man's trapped. He's not in a good spot at all. There's a few boys next to him as well. I guess even Esports Social, they're really split apart. Wanted's the only person in this area. The man gets shut down instantly.
Yeah, he took 1 for the team. I think he was there for those recalls, and he was separated from the pack, as a result of which his team had to leave it. But it's something that Esports Social can live with. Currently sitting at 29 points. I feel like the way these teams are playing, the cutoff might breach past 30. Especially so many teams staging that comeback. And now the current cutoff is sitting at around 20 points with even Steel Falcons. All of their players alive. But look at Athena. He was phenomenal yesterday. A force of nature, if you ask me. But again, the misery continues for Team Insane. They've come in with just 3 players once again. And now almost on the verge of getting extinct.
Look at Actions. I mean, just 4 frags so far for Actions. It's not a good start. Not the ideal start they were searching for. But still can be much better. Athena taking a lot of those shots in the front as well in the hopes of finding at least something. Being a bit of a slow start. And once again, Action is sharing this compound with another foe. So that's going to be another concerning factor. But do they know that there is someone right next to them? Look at CJ, they found themselves a bit of that pit stop. There's also going to be Astrovex right next to them. And Astrovex, they've got different plans. They're going to wait for CJ to make that first mistake, but instead CJ, they thread the needle. They find the first opener. Exactly what they were looking for. Even the utilities now doing a lot of chip damage, but still Astrovex, they're not going to give up on the fight just like that yet. The firepower, it speaks. It's starting to ooze out. Aiden falls down as well. Mistakes from Ayan. And because of that, now Astrovex, they're on the verge of being completely eliminated from this game.
And Chakka Jam, they're going to capitalize, but they'll also have to be watchful. They spores almost everywhere. It all comes down to the Bhai and his shotgun, and he goes boom, but eventually gets taken down. And now Kalyuk seems to have found an opener. The big question is, are they going to press on matters? The good factor here was they've gotten Wanted back to life, considering he was the one who gave the revives before. And now Esports Social might want to push in, and given the fact that they have to get inside the circle, that certainly does help their case. And now currently sitting at 29 points. I think if they get 5-6 more points, they are through.
Look at CJ, they've got all the 4 recalls available, by the way.
Yeah.
They haven't even burned through a single one yet. Super Esports as well, chiming inside of the action and looking at Actions. Even they do eliminate that 1 man, which was there in the close by proximity. And just like that, Team Insane YouTube has been eliminated from the game. Super Esports, they found themselves a decent bit of spot to play with. It's around the southern side. It's not the best, but something they can work with. And now they also do want to get their hands on the replenishment, so that's what they're doing. But looking at the entirety of CJ as of now, CJ needs to reposition, and that's where maybe they can take a lot of damage. And keep this thing in mind, the recall towers will be activated till the late stage 4.
And this is something I really appreciate about Super Esports. They're exercising extreme caution, doing the basics right, dropping down smokes, and all of that. As a failure, just cruising through the lands, completely unfazed by his opponents. As Team SF trying to close in, got visuals, and looks a bit could want to potentially take down at least 1 player of Esports Social. All these teams engaging since the circle has taken that certain shift. A quick replay at all the action. Ayan, he showed a lot of heart. But the moment the vehicle slammed in, that is where 2 players of Astrovex were taken down. As a result of which, they did not have a lot of options, and especially with Kalyuk from the sidelines peppering them down, I think that just made things worse for them.
Steel Falcons, they've got their line of sight on the boys of CJ in the front. And for CJ, once again, not in that good of a stance. Steel Falcons all the way back to the blue, taking a lot of that damage upon themselves. They need to be a little bit quicker. They also need to breach inside of the circle, but they're still not able to find a good breaching point. White Walkers against Royal Academy. This is going to be an interesting fight. And look at that man from Royal Academy. He really wanted to escape, but Easy AC still gets caught. Unfortunate stuff. Looking at the circle and the way it's shaping out as well, I don't think Royal Academy, they're going to be able to get that revival on the fallen comrade. It's done for.
Ooh, look at this. Aditya is going to fight it till the very end with that AKM. Tries to go Barra, and there you go. It delivers a knocker piece and eventually gets traded down. D10 Esports, they are shredding the players of White Walkers apart, but the hero, Murnox, is once again here to save the day. But now, White Walkers profusely bleeding with Loki. We've seen his heroics out in the open, getting shot from the backlines. It is such a helpless situation for this young man, as eventually he falls to rest.
The question is, what was D10 doing and what was Loki doing all by himself?
Don't ask me.
Why did he not make that pounce together?
I have no idea.
Loki was just running out in the open. That was a free point just waiting to be grabbed. Yeah, well, mistakes. That's why D10 was at the bottom of the board. Now you know. Super Esports, even they're on the receiving side of the spectrum, things not looking too clean. Keep this thing in mind, the recall towers are soon going to be disabled. So if the teams do want to get their hands on the recall as soon as possible, now is going to be the time. Rising Star official, Abhi, the man's on the run, does not want to stay in any sort of conflicts. Just wants to be away from them. High Flyers as well, SKO gets knocked out. Wolf still there nearby. He can go for the revival if he wants to.
But even for White Walkers, the numbers, they have depleted just down to their final two. They are currently sitting at 30 points. They've got a lot of finishes to work with. And this is exactly the kind of a comeback that we wanted. But look at Pakzyy, just hiding beneath a rock. And there you have Athena this time getting taken down. And this is what you were talking about, right? CJ having so much of those recalls on them. They wanted to instigate a fight, but now all that remains is going to be Sarthak. And suddenly they have been pushed upon. Frankie finds a beautiful knock there as Frankie deciding to reposition. Eventually, he shall fall prey as Chakka Jam. They somehow survive this onslaught, but do they have enough time and a recall tower available for themselves?
No, they cannot go for the recalls anymore. Just not enough time. But luckily enough, still the damage can be controlled.
Yeah.
3 players will be back on the board, so it's all good in the hood. And CJ's already secured 9 points out of this game so far. That's going to give them 37 points in total. I think CJ's already qualified. High Flyer, down 2 players, AJ and SKO knocked out. Wolf is the man standing, but what can he do? He needs to run out in the open if he does want to hand out that revive, and he's the only person that's currently standing. 3 players from High Flyers are knocked out. Oh, it's a real bad position to be in. Metal Wings, they need to be a little bit more cautious. There's another team in the sidelines that's keeping a close eye on them, and eventually he strikes as well. Pika is able to find that knock, gets the confirmation as well. Yeah, unfortunate for the boys of Metal Wings. This is going to be a bit of a flop.
I mean, Pika has been doing so much for his team. The solo man getting all those finishes, but Wolf, the final member surviving, refuses to bow down.
Revival. It's possible. Come on, Wolf.
Is it?
Yeah, it is. His teammate's still knocked out.
He's still far out. He's still far out. I mean, to go for the revive, he needs to take that long road.
It was possible.
I mean,
it was possible.
It's all right. He just panicked in that situation, and now he's out in the open. It was so difficult, right? Does not have a lot of smoke grenades to work with. His vehicle was also quite far away. So, I mean, he's just trying to make do of all that situation, try to stay alive, try to gather as many position points as he can.
The problem is he's not even inside of the circle.
Yeah.
He needs to anyways move out of the cover and move in the circle. So yeah, Wolf is going to be messed up either way.
Yes.
I don't know what he just did. He just sacrificed his own teammate for no reason. He could have been saved.
You know, it's still fine. I saw his teammate was way far off and he had to commit for that. So leaving all of that aside, I think High Flyers, decent game in this one. Got decent amount of points, but now the position points is what worries me, with especially Super Esports keeping a close watch, Necro. I do not know how it's going to get in.
I personally think just having 4 points on the board is not a lot of points.
Something,
it's still
considering
less.
how they've been playing, you know.
I mean...
Yeah, I get your point.
Man, the way they played yesterday, I don't really have a lot of hopes from this team. I'm not going to lie.
Are they
and
flying?
Look at this. Yeah, they wanted to straight up make that pounce on the opposite side. And they actually do make the jump as well, but now these shots proven out to be too deadly. It's CJ taking those shots as well. And Iconic, they're out in the open. That's going to be free elimination point as well. The man shipped down so low. One more shot from Sartha can actually seal the deal. The man's alive behind the vehicle. Still standing. One more shot. He's going to find the knock as well. Oh my god, Iconic, they mess up big. But there is still one more man from the side of Iconic alive, and he wants to keep things together.
Oh, look at this. With Sarthak being taken out of commission and Cyrus's position compromised, and given that Team Iconic are yet to make it inside the circle, at least for Cyrus, I do not know how he is going to transition himself from point A to B, especially with Legit keeping such a close watch. And even for Chakka Jam, they would be hoping that they can somehow get Sarthak up. But no, I think Sarthak just gave up in that very moment. He's going to take almost a burning vehicle. That's a bold move if you ask me.
Cyrus, I think he should focus on the revive now. He should focus on the revive now.
They're foes right next to him.
There were foes, and he can actually still win that fight as well. It's
What's
so
going
questionable. Why is he not even taking intel? He does not even know where the other guy is from CJ now. He's clueless, and he's also going to get shot from the water. Oh my god. Rookie mistakes made by rookies.
Yeah,
and that's why... Yep, the man's messed up. The table's now flipped. This is what exactly Legit was waiting for. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
This feels like my classic games, I'm not gonna lie.
Alright, if Cyrus is gonna get a knock,
oh my
that
god,
would have
there's
been
no way.
completely a flipper there, but still, Legit, he survives it somehow, but now he's out in the open, and Flexi seems like he's got a hunch. He knows that there were two teams fighting it out, and suddenly what Legit did was, alright, get inside the water, and now he's doing the greedy deed. Flexi, all you're gonna do is get a little ahead of where you are, and you might secure a knock.
Why isn't he partaking?
I have no clue, Nick.
He could literally just looked on the other side of the ridge and got those points for himself. And he's still not doing it, by the way. Still not playing for the intel. He does not even know what's going on in front of him.
Maybe he does not have all the information. He's still in two minds that there might be a couple of other players as well. And considering he's the final player surviving, I think he's gone full passive mode.
He does not even need a peek out. It's a TPP mode. He can just look through the camera. That's all he needs to do.
Oh.
But still, Flexi, he's not even bothering to look. That's the only thing that's concerning me.
He's scared to death. Let's just conclude it there. He's just panicking, and it's okay. It's okay, given they've got 2 more games after this. And from here onwards, now all these teams will start getting their position points. Esports Social still keeping their numbers up. Dragon Noob, their star player, still alive with Kalyuk. Now rising underdogs, they might have a go at it. Adi with the grenade flung over. The intention was right, but it was a little overshoot. And there you go.
God.
This time, right on the point. Of course, that smoke was a giveaway, wasn't it?
Solid stuff. Man knocked out. Esports Social, now they might be in a bit of a stinger. Found themselves in a real bad spot. Kalyuk, the only person there in the front. And he's the only person standing as well for the squad too. Once again, Esports Social just trying to play for the average, not being too greedy. The moment they hit that average, Esports Social, you will see the aggression dying down as well. And as of now, for Rising Stars official, it's RU in the front. What is going to be the game plan, though? Do they really want to pounce on top of the opportunity? Or just wait for the right moment to strike? And now Flexi, there's a man in the front. Flexi's still not peeking out. Come on, just do it. Use your TPP. You can get all the intel, but still Flexi. Oh my god, he's going to die. I'm telling you, Legit's going to eliminate that player. I'm telling you, it's going to happen.
Brother, no way he's going to get a girlfriend if he keeps playing like this. I mean, Flexi need to flex some moves there. And Legit, he's got no clue that there's an opponent right behind him. And I do not know how to really describe this moment. But for Kalyuk, pretty sure he gets... Alright, he's exercising extreme caution, but this is what he's supposed to do. That's more like it. Oh, the finish got stolen away.
Yeah, RU is like, thank you. We'll take that one. Feels good.
Ridiculous.
Just ate it alive. Really. Kalyuk, he's not going to be too happy after that one. But for RU, they're definitely thankful. For Rising Stars, though, losing that member, it's definitely going to sting even more. And yeah, still, by the way, Pakzyy is not even using his TPP vision, by the way, to look across. He's still just there behind the rock. He's so scared. Listen, Steel Falcons, if you guys are listening to me, you guys got to have a word with Pakzyy. This man could have actually gotten a few elimination points easily if you wanted to. Just have a word with him, man. Maybe he's the reason why you're not getting a lot of points.
A little pat on the back might really help for starters, but yeah, I think the good thing is that his position still not compromised, but now addressing issues at hand. Kalyuk, he's been pinched down by the players of Rising Superstars, given 3 of them still alive, and Kalyuk is the solo straggler, and his position completely given. It's just a good thing that the opposition might not be having enough grenades, but White Walkers still have to make do with the 2 players that they have alive. And Chakka Jam, this time Necro, they've made so much of the situation. I mean, 13 finishes, only 1 player surviving, and legit, he might be legit cooking something. A grenade, and he's already spotted out. Abhi instantly goes for the elimination there, and legit will add 1 more finish to the tally.
Now, this is how you're supposed to play, Pakzyy. Legit
still
is also
hidden.
the only person, and Flex is still hidden, by the way. But soon, he needs to move out. The Blue's on the move, and Pakzyy will need to leave that comfort zone. So let's see what he's going to do. How will Pakzyy play? He cannot even keep on crawling because the Blue's going to close up, and it's going to do a lot of damage this time. And for Rising Stars, they have been losing these individual players over and over again. Before, it was the man from Esports Social getting the knock, and now it's legit getting that knock. So yeah, constantly they are losing their men. Pakzyy's just backing away even more. He wants to move inside of the circle. But the game plan, it's messed up.
You know, at this point, I would like to request the production just to show Pakzyy's POV at this point. I want to see what this man's cooking.
There
of
we
course,
go.
finally legit has been dealt with, and there you go. Pika just electrocuting him, and even Kalyuk.
Oh my
He's
God.
also going to rest easy. Rising Stars official, they have been silent throughout the game, but seems like a chicken is in the making for them. As Noyan, he's got a built-up pit for himself. He's still surviving. He's got those 2 deployable covers already pinned out, and smoke separating him and the rest of Rising Stars. But on the certain side, you can also see Rising Underdogs. They also have got their numbers up. And even for Super Esports, we saw good consistency in the final game. But Noyan, seems like Rising Stars might be oblivious, Necro. They don't have an idea.
Yeah. And as of now, RA really taking their time, thinking through. Royal Academy, that's the only man standing. There we go. The first shock and pop. It's going to find the connection, but the retaliation from Rising Stars, it was really good. They've officially won that fight, eliminating Royal Academy out of this game. But now getting the revival is also going to be important. Starch is not going to be separated from the team this time.
But you know, on the brighter side of things, Rising Underdogs, they've got their numbers up, 7 finishes, and Guru in front of them. What separates them from glory is going to be this young lad. White Walkers, they've got an 11 finish, and now Rising Stars. I think Guru has spotted them, and he does not want to take any risk at this point, but any given time, Rising Stars might just close in, but there you have that grenade. Not doing a lot, but Hitman is going to get the better of a player, and finally Guru is going to be pushed upon, completely unaware of the surroundings, and Rising Underdogs add another finish to their tally.
RU's got the man advantage in the whole lobby, and now it's just Super Esports standing against him. The man's position's compromised as well. Molotov being tossed exactly on the mark, and he actually gets the frag as well. Solid stuff from Rising Underdogs. And honestly, this was the game they were probably searching for as well. Yesterday, for RU, the game was not too good. The day was not too good. But now after having this one, it's going to give them a massive catapult, a massive boost in the overall standings. The same thing can also be said for White Walkers, getting 11 frags on the board and a few more placement points. It's going to put them on a real good spot.
Now, when you look at the overall grand scheme of things, I feel like the overall standings are going to go for a toss, especially with Rising Underdogs, Rising Superstars, all all of these teams staging their comeback. Of course, I also feel like White Walkers might have done their bidding. They might have crossed the bare minimum, and they've also seemed to qualify. So now we've got a more vivid picture. At least after this game, 3 or 4 teams have secured their place in round number 3. But for the others, especially with how T10 started off, Necro, I really felt like they might be onto something. But then eventually we saw them making those mistakes. But Flexi, we need to have a talk.
Actually, there's going to be 5 teams that have qualified, Fixes. Allied Forces, CJ, Esports Social, and White Walkers. And even another
RU.
team, RU as well.
Yeah.
So there's 5 teams that have almost secured that slot towards the next round, which is a really good thing, which also means there's only 2 more slots available, and something needs to be done ASAP. And as you mentioned, Flexi, definitely, he needs to have a word with his teammates. I'm not even sure what exactly happened there, but Steel Falcons, if you guys are watching the English broadcast, please talk to him. Talk to him. What exactly was going through your mind, my man?
Or talk to Necro. He's got a lot of better things to say. But I think even I liked how Pika played from Super Esports. But when you talk about rising underdogs, Addy, he was quite fantastic. 6 finishes, 1200 points of damage on the board. And rising underdogs, this is the perfect starter that they could have wanted. I do not know what holds for them, where they sit at the overall standings after this chicken dinner. I just hope they've crossed past that 30 marker, because next up will be 2 games of Erangel, and when you look at how they played the Erangel yesterday, I think they would want to secure 5-6 points at least.
Look, RU started off with 16 points on the board, and after getting this massive chicken dinner, I believe, yes, they've already qualified. My personal cutoff expectation, it's going to be around 27 to 28 points, but looking at this previous game, it feels like there's definitely possibility it might just rise high even more. Now, it all just comes down to the table toppers. If they do start creating that vacuum of points, then the middle pack is going to start to struggle even more. But it's also going to be good news for the middle pack, because the cutoff is not going to rise even higher.
But then again, there were so many teams around those mid packs that did not play really well. Welcome back, folks. You're watching the BGIS 2020 surprising end. The area of Gatka, you've got Team Actions, you've got Team White Walkers right next to each other. 2 experienced teams, 2 big hitters. It's going to be an interesting fiasco, but what is lovely is what we are seeing looking at the circle over here. And for T10, do you think this is a game where their fortunes finally change?
It could be, but at the same time as well, they've got full control. They've got first dibs on all the god spots as well. Technically, this should be a T10 game, but only if they do their rotations and macro controls well in the scenario as well. It's going to be a very tricky spot to do, but hopefully they will pull it off, because this might be the massive game they are looking forward to try and qualify in the top 7. Meanwhile, the drop clash here all the way in Yasnaya is going to be a Team Insane White Tube going up against HF, High Flyers in particular. It seems like Team Insane, they don't really want to slow things down. They are going to be on the hunt here as well. They did catch a glimmer on one of the players, and Wolf, he was not paying attention. His head was exposed through the windows, gets sprayed down. That's going to be the first drop here for Team Insane White Team to actually clean them out before heading off, and they have to wrap things quickly as well. Oh, the pan comes in. Oh, okay. Stay out of Yasnaya, my friends.
Yeah, statement made. And for Insane White Tube, I really feel like at this point I see, given they've just come in with 3 players, they do not have a lot of expectations. They just want to have their last dance perfect. They want to engage in as many fights as possible. As for Insane White Tube, they're trying to close in, but for Psycho, they've got a fight, and there's fights breaking out on multiple fronts. Even Team Iconic, they've got this little bit of a rivalry going up against Rising Stars. 2 players from each team have been taken down, as Cyrus pretty much out in the open. Raiden having a little bit of that cover to play around. He's got a Brill to work with. 2 players of Iconic, they're trooped up, but nobody really intending for the push.
Oh, the timing though for Raiden. He may have missed it. Could have got a free drop right there. Unfortunately, now he's going to be pushed up as well. The Molotov is going to buy a little bit more time as well, as Iconic stuck outside the entrance. Raiden still needs some sort of backup. He's all by himself, but the rest of Iconic, they're pushing in 4v1 situation here, and Raiden gets dropped here. He takes one out. Almost takes one out actually, but Iconic will be the ones that win this fight. And just like that, Iconic find themselves 2 finishes. And Rising Stars official is going to be leaving with Abi on top of this cliff, which again, no backpacks, no mobility, no nothing. Only has an AK. And sees Kraken is going to go for an attempt here. Shots fired. That's going to be knocked. Can he get the confirmation? Is going to be a question here. Drops him down. No. But Kraken will get into safety under the cover of those warehouses. So it's going to be fine. For now, at least.
Yeah, that was a narrow escape. And for all the viewers watching this broadcast, a little bit of trivia here. It's for the 3rd time these 2 teams are drop clashing against each other. And now Team Psycho, they've gone in for the paw, and Astrovex Arena also well prepared to deal with the push. And now for Sam, he's going to fight with 2 different players. Monster does not have a lot of HP, and now Astrovex Arena is surrounding them. These hungry hounds, they want to close in, and Sam, the only player alive, just has that UMP to play along, does not have a lot of utility on him. At 1 grenade, and a little too cooked early over there, if you ask me. Another one to follow up, doing not a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's stuck here on top as well. There's only so much he can do. He's going to get pushed eventually as well as Astrovex. We're lobbing over, trying to bait him out some sort of reactions here. Shots has been fired. Reload. Trying to bait out reload animation here, but nothing happening here. Great pick coming from him, but he is tagged out pretty low. But Astrovex, they have all the time in the world to try and pick this as well. As Tabahi is going to try and pick up his teammate before they actually go in for the push. Door baits, try and make some sort of audio, but AB has no reason to push up yet. They have the numbers advantage. But the question here is, they're a little bit afraid of UMP, considering how low their health is as well. So this might be an opportunity for Sam to actually capitalize here. Here comes the jump, and he gets the first one, looking for the second. May have missed the timing, but he does have time. He repositions himself to go in for the pounds. He's calling a little bit more teammates here coming from Astrovex, but eventually gets picked from the sides, getting distracted by that vehicle. So Astrovex will be the ones to come up on top.
NT, I must say, from the last surviving member, Sam. He gave his all, and it was a very sketchy fight. For Astrovex Arena exercising extreme caution there. Did not lose a lot of men in that fight. As Super Esports, this time against Team Action, they've lost a couple of their own men. And for Super Esports, losing out on Pika does not really help their case over here. Down to Wayne and Api. And Wayne is interested for a push. He's got that DBS to play along. It's another team on the sidelines. It's going to be Actions, Frankie, and Actions himself is down. Exoto, he has a different angle, I see. And Api, he's ensuring that Action does not get the revive. Smokes have been dipped down. But whatever Super Esports need to do, they need to do ASAP, because a lot of these teams are lurking around them.
Yeah, it's going to be close as well. They've got sense of control, but Actions, they definitely need to find a way to get control out of this as well. But it seems like Frankie, he is going to be able to pick up his teammates. Meanwhile, Exoto is going to try and stall the other teammate as of Super Esports here. And it's going to be tricky to do so. Shorty's are available. Going to be playing around the balcony. Exoto may have missed the timing, but so did Wayne. But eventually the jump shot to try and bait things out. The silent step comes through. It does take him out. So that's going to be Super Esports taking another player here. We're down towards a 2 versus 2. But Actions, they're so low. They do not have the health up. And they get flanked as well as Super Esports has got them pinned. No way up. And Frankie, last man standing.
Indeed, and Frankie, he has that energy drink up, but now he's got a DBS. A 1-on-2 situation is still possible. He has to be very wary. And now they have mustered up some courage. He does miss those initial shots, and suddenly he's put them at bay. Wayne surviving with a sliver of HP, and Super Esports, they're also running out of meds when instantly patching himself up. And now it is time for round 2, but this is what I was worried about. Zinix from the Far of Prey, he gets a knock, and now Frankie knows this is his moment. A 1-on-1 situation, and he goes in for the push. Frankie, he has to hit the shots wide, but Zinix, he finds a beautiful angle, and that is all she wrote for Team Action as they bow out.
Wow, great recoil control coming from Zinix as well. That pretty much saves their lives coming in from Super Esports, but at the same time, they've lost a point just like that. Very pure, pretty much under fire. But let's see how the zone shifts here. It does shift onto his quarry, so we're not going to be expecting the Primos ending here. So that means T10 have to push out. As soon as I say this, Royal Academy, they have made their way in towards the quarry region here to try and get center control. White Walker is going to be playing from a western approach here. Be happy dodging rotations as much as they can, just because they don't want to be caught out in the open here, especially this early on. But speaking of which here, Fixers, look at this. Circle 2 on its way. We still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, at least 5 teams still outside the zone right now.
Yeah, but you know what really catches my eye is how Royal Academy have positioned their players. A 2-2 wide spread. That's going to be interesting as to how they execute that. But yes, a lot of these teams are actually delaying, especially Astrovex Arena, considering they took a prolonged fight and now they need some loot. Even for Team Allied Forces, they have gotten their forces together. They've got Rising Underdogs right next to them. This is a team that comes in hot with some momentum. Now they're playing around the warehouses around Quarry, but look at Royal Academy finally got their numbers up, but suddenly in a world of trouble as Ezzy has been pushed up, and Zinix with that DP28, he has been causing so much chaos. Noyan goes for the swing, goes for the hits, and now Vegito, he's scared to death, sits inside the vehicle, somehow still alive, and what? He just managed to take a knock, and now instantly needs to adjust, and White Walkers, they have been eliminated.
Yeah, but at the same time, guess who's coming here as well? Because T10, they're coming in to going for the slam and party as well. But can they wrap things up? Is going to be a question as well. Royal Academy, they are hurt, they're weak, they need to go for the reses. And the knees come in from Ashu. Looks for a knock. Unfortunately, no connection yet. And it seems like there is going to be another team going to be joining the fray as well, as Rising Underdogs comes in to chime in. And that's going to be Royal Academy dropping one once more. Easy is dropped. And it seems like Rising Underdogs is going to be the first one to engage first in this fight.
And this is going to be an interesting scenario. It's a game of chess going on. Who gets the first piece? Addy, he opens it up, and suddenly Addy, he goes in for the paw. As Royal Academy, that is all she wrote for them. As T10, they're being very cautious. And look at this. Rising Underdogs, 3 players inside the warehouse is going to make their lives hell now. And Loki delivering with those grenades through that murky smoke. And this is exactly the opening T10 Esports needed at this point. They've made the substitutions. They want to make it count as they go in for the push. And now Royal Underdogs, they're trembling with fear. They've got no other options but to get the hell out of here. And they will succeed.
Yep, good job here coming from T10 as well. But what a fiasco in towards the quarry warehouses here. But at the same time here, this is a well-needed points coming from T10. But at the same time, was it enough? They only found 2. It's not a lot. But let's see how the circle shifts as well. Seems like a circle is going to be hitting towards quarry. But no, it pushes down south here with Primos City completely ignored. No team inside Primos at all. And who knows, it might actually shift down south as well. So that's going to be a tricky spot to be in.
You know what I really loved about T10 Esports is now they're showing so much promise, I see. Because, let's be honest, that is one of the hot spots and they have captured it. So as long as they can hold their compound, that is where the circle might take a shift, and that is a big win, if you ask me. It's the objective fight that they engaged in and came out winning in this one. But for Iconic, they really need to deliver, man. Doji, he's got 4 finishes to himself. Players of Super Esports still alive, and for teams like CJ, they're yet to make it inside the circle, and even the same can be said for Astrovex Arena.
Yep, but at the same time here for these guys, if you guys want to play like the pros, guess what? This is your time to play a lot in game as well in BGMI, because why? The more you play, the more you'll be feeling the BGIS 2026 prize pool. And while we are achieving all these milestones here, we are going to be unlocking rewards for you guys in-game. So the more you play, the more you will get in terms of rewards. And guess what? No UC is required in this game itself. But seems like on the outskirts here of 70, Astrovex, they are still taking a very, very late rotation here to stage 3. And I think Monster might just... Okay, he's fine here. That's going to be his close one. But it is his last first aid kit before he actually makes it inside the zone here. Meanwhile, airdrop, AWM available, but nobody's picked it up yet.
I mean, how the times have changed, man. No respect for the big green cannon. Not anymore, but surely we had to see this replay, right? White Walkers just poured in. I think this is the mistake, right? Everybody decided to inject from one corner, which instantly opened path for the other players. But with Cheetah, I really want to see how he got taken down. Sat inside the vehicle. Oh, there you see Noyan. He was the one who got inside the vehicle, and that was a swinging shot. And then we saw Rising Underdogs wanted to follow it up. Whilst T10 on the sidelines, they were pretty much chilling. Addy, I think this was lovely performance from him, going in like that. But they had no other escape plan, no contingency, no insurance over there. And T10 still pounced upon them. But the good thing is that they somehow managed to back off. And now they're playing around the edges. With CJ, this is a really interesting rotation, I see. They've rotated all the way in from the northern side and now have injected themselves to the western side of the circuit.
Yeah, and speaking of this western as well, this mountain terrain is great, but it's not exactly good in terms of the next zone, just because of the fact that yes, you have high ground, but based on how awkward it is going to most likely shift onto the east side. So right now the biggest question here is, can CJ actually rotate out in the open? Because even teams in the east side here even as well, Rising Stars Official, their priority at the edge as well. And yes, it does shift towards the east side, but it is out in the open in Primos, so this might be a very premature game here. This game might actually close out pretty quickly unless teams go in for the stamp inside Primos City, which again, right now, High Flyers has got it completely locked down.
You know, I really feel like Iconic should be taking on those ridges around that western side. And if they can have a control and if they can have their men up, then this could be one of those big games that they desperately need. But for Astrovex Arena, they surely do need a lot of meds. Completely running out of them, and now that's a knock. Looking for another. Tapping away to secure a finish over here. Astrovex Arena, they're looking desperate, I see. And by the looks of it, if they know it's Steel Falcons, they might actually think of committing for a push.
Yeah, they have to as well, but Steel Falcons, they are going to be playing a little bit of position. But speaking of a push, like you said, Astrovex, they're desperate for those resources. They need those meds, and this is a perfect time as well. Hisoka dropping down pretty low here, but the nades comes in. It seems like Flexi may have naded his teammate there. And just like that, Steel Falcons, they may have just denied a point away from Astrovex. Not a great start here for Steel Falcons.
Yeah, indeed it isn't. And Russia out in the open with a Molotov in his hands. He needs to do something special, and he does. He does deliver, but look at Astrovex. So widely spread out and making the most out of the situation. Ion, he's got Fragger right in front of him, and there you go, Trigger. He gets taken down, but a quick trade coming in from Flexi as he makes up for his mistakes. As Astrovex Arena, now they know this is not their fight to win. Eventually elope from that situation. With Flexi, can he patch himself up? And the answer shall be no, as Steel Falcons, they will be bowing out of this game.
Oh my goodness, Flexi, what a blunder it is. That should have been a game for you, but very, very unfortunate demise there. But speaking of which here, we're down towards the final 8 teams, and Iconic is going to be pointing out it open on towards the beach lines, or in this case, the shorelines itself here.
Run Windows, Linux, and more on your Mac with unmatched performance and compatibility.
As Super Esports now has got them locked down. This two-man army has been surviving for quite some time. But as of yet, they have not made their mark yet. And no reason to as well, considering that so many teams has pretty much dodged the city area altogether, which is interesting. And Esports Social finally makes a move themselves here, and they themselves want to defend the top 7 as of yet.
Now when you look at even the overall standings, I see all those mid-packing teams, they are pretty much eliminated. So that makes, that opens door actually for the likes of High Flyers. And not having enough numbers just makes it so difficult. But Iconic and for T10, they can actually bounce up. All they need to do is get a chicken dinner. But for Esports Social, currently sitting at 34 points. They're yet to open their finish accounts. And with Team Allied Forces right next to them, they're just scouring through the lands. Another replay of what we just witnessed. Desperation did kick in. Astrovex Arena wanted to force the fight. Flexi, of course, made that mistake over there. And eventually, even the blue zone partaking in such a big fiasco between these two teams. And of course, Steel Falcons did not have a lot of options but to perish.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. Yeah, mistakes were made, but hopefully they still have one more game to kind of figure things out here. It's now or never. But meanwhile, like you said, the floodgates may be open here. Esports Social still trying their best to actually defend their points here. They've got placement points, but teams at the bottom here, they need a massive game. Like you said, HF, Iconic, even T10 as well. If they get the chicken dinner with at least 10 finishes, they're also up for contention for the top 7 for the next game as well. So it is going to be down towards the wire here on who is going to be making the top 7. But for now, the top 4, they are pretty much safe right now.
Look at CJ. I really like how they've rotated in. They're being extremely cautious and making all the right decisions. Their backline's absolutely clear. And for High Flyers, they want to also take that route, but they have been snuffed out. Ashkot, he's got visuals, but he also knows that the entire cavalry of Esports Social, they're waiting right next to him. So he's got to count his eggs. As of now, T10, they've got that hovercraft. And Rising Underdogs survive with 2 players. They have been chasing them for quite some time. And they know it is their moment to shine. Grenades being flung over by both these teams. And it's all about finding that one single opener. T10, they're already pumped up at this point. And there you go. The opener that they wanted has been given. Ghost, he's been taken down. Everything responding and relying on this IGL. Puali, he's got to do something special. He does a smack on the face, and one player already being taken down. The cavalry does not arrive in time, but there you have it. Finally, he gets that elimination, but at the cost of what? T10 still surviving, still kicking with 5 finishes in the bag.
Yeah, they need more than this as well, because right now, Allied Force is going to be looking to try and chime in as well, as they are pushing from the north side. RB is a little bit forward as well. The sprays are coming in blindly, hoping to find some sort of connection, but it does scare him off a little bit more. But what a spray as hits, gets one knock onto his Ashu's T10 out in the open, and then even Suzhou gets spotted out as well, as Allied Force may shut down the dreams of T10 right here and right now. Not a great game here for T10 once more, as Allied Force is here to spoil the party.
You know, this is what really happens when you just go guns heavy. You forget that the other teams are around you. As now Fragger, it's a nice knock onto with Sarthak, the danger man. Now out of commission. Ashkot trying to trigger in that revive, but Esports Social pushing from 2 different fronts. And that's lovely. Just driving over Chris OP. He knows the job is half done, and now they can chase after Legit. He needs to step out of his vehicle there, but Just Wiz, he gets a nice trade. Fragnoob, he's down, and Chris OP could be the next on the hit list as he's out in the open. Suddenly CJ, they want some redemption, and they get it as well. Legit, a beautiful knock and a switch from Just Wiz as tables flip. Esports Social, they have really had a blunder over here, and CJ, they are cooking them hard.
Exactly, Kaliuk now in a lot of trouble as well. He's out in open, they are in the top 6, but at the same time, he finds himself a little bit shagged. But the problem is, he needs to contest it as well. Hopefully there's not going to be anybody there, and yes, there isn't as well. So he is going to be safe for now. That's going to be a lot of problems and ideas that is going through his mind. He is in the safety nets of the zone itself, but Allied Forces did spot him out, so they may consider going for the slam to take him out as well and try and take that spot themselves. Considering that there is a lot of vehicles around it as well, they can fortify it with even more vehicles, and that's exactly what they may consider doing. Meanwhile, from the southeast corner, Iconic still alive and kicking. They've got 5 finishes and 4 men healthy, in prime position to also secure the chicken dinner this game. But Ophelio, he goes down. The nades comes in from Kaliuk. He is going to try and secure those points here. It seems like, does he get it? This is going to be the question as well. Seems like he's still recooking those nades. And on the southeast corner, Iconic gets spotted out by Chaka Jam. Oh, what a shot from Doji.
That's a beautiful opener. This is exactly what Iconic needed at this point. And even Legit, he seems to be in no man's land, just driving that vehicle wildly around. As for CJ, they look for a reset, especially after that heated fight. And now Team Iconic, they They're feeling that heat. They know they cannot afford mistakes over here. I see one little mistake and this could be the end of it. For Super Esports, went just maul it himself. That's quite sketchy there. But for now, Arshgod, a little bit of those stabs, trying to pepper down. Still no connections. This is iconic. They have to be careful that one lonely straggler, Valorix, can change their fate. Again, iconic. They're acting so scared, I see. They really do not want to climb. They do not want to go for the ascent.
Welcome to Mahashivratri, a night full of music, dance, meditation and celebration.
And now, Sarthak, he's got an opener. Kraken, what does he do next?
Oh, he can't really do too much here, considering that they've got a high ground. But with this pick here coming from Allied Force, that might be the opening that Iconic needs as well. Because Allied Force, they find him out in open, but he misses his shot. Arshgod is going to be the ones that trades 1-for-1 with them. But Chaka Jam looks like they are going to reposition to reset before they consider taking these fights once more. They are right on the edges of the zone as well. But speaking of which here, Super Esports Abi running out in the open, gets spotted out by Cyrus. That's going to be a free point. But at the expense of exposing himself here, Justwiz will be able to trade him off as well.
Oh, Viscott sometimes staying at the higher grounds adds to be the Achilles heels. That was the case there, but Drago getting carefully spotted, trying to thread the needle, would be legit. He's just trying to spray wildly, hoping he connects. But Doji simply backing off. So far, he's been carrying the helm for his team, having secured the highest finishes as Arshgod. He's got 3 grenades to work with, one of them being flung.
Wow.
A little undershoot there. Did not reach its mark as Arshgod again builds up some courage. And this time, the distance is going to be perfect. Lobs the grenade, should connect, OG needs to be Kraken, a beautiful delivery there. Arshgod, he's been taken down and legit. CJ, they're in a world of trouble.
Yep, the sprays comes in. CJ Justwiz is almost getting dropped down low as well. Drago, that
Anh có chậm dốc bốc xí, tôi dấu hiện chậm dốc bốc xí, tôi tắc tôi phép cái tôi gì hơi, lại anh không biết chậm dốc, cho Paul Hogan không phải là chất.
Chaka Jam, they've lost legit.
Paul Hogan được nọc đòn, em không tan hiện.
He might be the potential third one. Sartak with the nades, gets the drop on Doji, but Allied Force, they are coming up. They have the high ground. Iconic goes down, but CJ, they are stuck in a small little dip. Sartak still covering inside the smoke, but it is going to be a 3v2. Allied Forces is coming. They're looking for the third chicken dinner of this entire series so far in the group stages. They just might be able to get it.
Yeah, absolutely calm as a cucumber, have been collected in picking their fights. And CJ, who have executed some beautiful rotations and now down to their last man. Now it's going to be a very interesting scenario. 2-on-3 situation seems like is in the making with CJ on the lower grounds. Really does not help their case. Arshgod still surviving from that murky smoke, finally has given his position away. Abhi, he's going to relay all that communication while Sarthak, he's staying put, not moving a muscle. And now CJ, they're trying to separate themselves from each other, trying to create that crossfire. But as of now, Allied Forces, they're not taking the bait. They're playing extremely carefully. But look at this, Poison Abhi. Their bodies are exposed and Arshgod, beautiful spray connected. Takes one down, and seems like the numbers are now even, Steven.
Oh boy, this is going to be a tricky spot to be in. But Chaka Jam, off the perfect nade. If this nades connect, it is going to be huge, but hits. He's pretty much exposed as well. Sartak needs to find the opener here. Allied Force, they may have dropped the ball here as Poison gets knocked as well. Oh no, they flipped the script. What a comeback. Chaka Jam just might be able to clutch things out here. It is going to be 2 versus 1 right now. Oh my goodness, how did they drop the ball here for Allied Force?
No idea, no freaking clue over here. Allied Force looking at their third while CJ looking for the second chicken dinner. And see, they're going to get it in a beautiful fashion. A drive-by to end their drought, and there you have it. Another second game chicken dinner coming in for Chaka Jam. And we know they've already qualified. They just want to get these numbers up. What a beautiful, beautiful signs of courage in that final moment. I mean, that was an impossible situation, and somehow they made it happen.
That was a big game coming from Arshgod as well here, considering the fact that he's single-handedly dismantled 2 players coming from Allied Force. He got the first knock with the first name. For more so.
Nhìn đâu mà.
Northwestern shift, but at the same time, we are going to be expecting drop clashes again here. It seems like Severny is going to be having a hot drop here, potentially once more. Astrovex was one of the teams that had a little bit run in here with Sicko, but this time Sicko has decided to abandon Severny altogether.
Yeah, this is quite interesting, right, for Sicko Metal Wings. And honestly, they have been the biggest surprise in my opinion. What exactly happened to Sicko Metal Wings? Why are they not able to pop off? They did so good in the round 1, but now that transition towards the round 2, it feels like it's starting to fall apart instantly. Metal Wings struggling, the entirety of Metal Wings in general is just not able to play that well. For Steel Falcons, I feel like yes, the efforts are visible, but the firepower is missing from the roster. Too hesitant to go for a fight. White Walkers now dropping around Godka. For White Walkers, in my opinion, they need a few points as well to just nail down the coffin. And if you move on towards Rozhok, we might just have a potential clash over there as well. CJ and Rising Stars right next to each other.
Well, it might actually happen as well. Seems like we've seen a lot of drop clashes, even more this time. I know Sicko has pretty much dodged 70 altogether, but interesting enough, we have a new contender. That's going to be insane Y-Tube inside 70 instead.
Yeah, look at Primorx, T10. They're going to be clashing against someone, so this one's going to be interesting as well. I really do want to see who is T10 exactly crashing against. It's actually going to be Astrovex, so this fight, it will be really interesting. For T10, they desperately need these points. For Astrovex, once again, even if they do end up winning the fight, they will still stand a chance to actually move on and qualify. They're not even too far away. But for T10, they need a bare minimum 20 bomber.
This is crazy coming from Astrovex as well, considering the fact that they were the ones that actually drop clash into a 70, but this time they decided to go for, hey, you know what, instead of the first town we hit, we're going to hit the last town of this flight path. And T10, they will be the ones that actually feel the brunt here. And obviously T10, they do need all these points here right from the get-go. So if they win this fight 4v4, that's going to be 4 points, which gives them enough shot to push themselves in the top 7, which again, right now, Actions does have 30 points. He is currently gatekeeping the entire game. Meanwhile, obviously, we also have Chaka Jam, we have like 4.
गई वहां पर फियर्स वो डाउन कर दिए गए.
Of that player. Still clearing out every single room if they can. Flux also getting his hands on the loot, just topping it off. And that man still sitting on the stairs, trying to be the opportunistic one, slamming 4 man. They might just be slammed themselves by just this one player. No, instead they avoid that house. What?
Yeah, they're running with their blinders on. And for that one lonely straggler, he was not even moving a muscle. Understands the gravity of the situation, but a couple of moments earlier, we saw that Fierce was taken down. And now, it's been given a revive, but beautiful threading of the needle coming in by Law. It's that beautiful knock, and Shadow, he has to depart. Apollo, not that slight flank angle, but seems like Law also has an idea of his whereabouts, as a result of which, they throw the Molotov, but to no avail.
Oh, still looking to find a few more openings. Cygnus Esports, Mihawk. Even the man's ready and primed. Not even sure what the exact game plan is for Cygnus, but even the Blues on the move now. So the next zone's going to be popping up soon. And the fight's still going on around Neok's factory. If a fight extends to stage 2, it's not a good idea on the map around though. It's never going to benefit you.
But given the situation, considering how the circle has been forming, so I think if they can still prolong the fight, that is still a-okay, given that they have enough resources. They haven't got a lot of time to loot, but seems like Black is caught a whiff. He knows where Law is. And wow, that was a nice setup coming in from Cygnus. 3 finishes already, no casualties. I'm loving this team. Again, Cygnus, this is a team that did not play really well in round number 1, but early signs in Rondo looks quite promising.
Definitely. 3 frags already on the board. Cygnus definitely off to a decent start. But once again, Cygnus, they haven't even burned through a single recall. And I'm pretty sure Cygnus will have that lay of the land as well, that there are a few more foes around them. And if they want, they can definitely burn through this recall, but the problem is going to be the utilities and the loot. Looting up in the stage 2, especially when you know teams are already going to be in good spots inside of the circle, it just gets even tougher. Now losing your life means losing quite a bit with that. And I'm pretty sure Cygnus is going to try to make the most out of their lives. They've got a decent bit of loot, good loadout as well, but they would not want to lose this.
I do not seem to agree with you on this one. I feel like our teams are struggling. Both these teams are running out of replenishments. Scarcity clearly visible, not a lot of first aids on them either. Constantly engaging in those fights. Now White Tiger, he gets contested. Jazz 22 trying to close in, but Fierce just goes for that outplay there. Creates that flank, and suddenly Cygnus, there are men down. So at this point, you know, this particular region is still well inside the circle, around that central areas. But the biggest problem for Meta Ninja right now is they need some meds. White Tiger is out of any meds. Even Fierce, he's managed to just pick off, what, 7 bandages? That is not going to suffice. For Cygnus, oh, they're getting caught by the players of High Risers. What is going on?
Oh no, this is a really bad news, Cygnus. Now they don't have the recall available. Oh no, the man on the recall tower taking down the remaining 2 players in Neok's factory. Oh my god, they can actually be fully eliminated from the game. They can be raised. And Meta Ninja, if they've read the elimination feed, they know what exactly is happening. They would want to take the advantage of that fact. North Stars, even now they're the one to make the pounce against the foes. Utilities tossed out against them as well. The Molotovs taking away a lot of damage. Sabby, nade being cooked. This one should find something. And it does find a bit of that chip damage, but still nothing too critical. But as I mentioned for Cygnus, oh, it's looking really bad. And I'm pretty sure Meta Ninja now knows the recall's not available for them, so they will try to press upon the matters even more.
I hope they've read the finish feed. I hope they've done that, because if they have not, that's going to set them off a little bit. But for North Stars, again, they really want to pick this fight. They want to capitalize. They still do have the luxury of those recalls, so of course, can put their bodies on the line at this given moment. Just checking every nooks and crannies around this little compound. But whilst they take that climb, that is where the real trouble arises. I'm starting to wonder if they are well aware of the topography. It seems like they're having trouble to find out where the stairs are. Is it?
Seems like it.
Do they know?
No, they definitely know, but I guess they're just scared to make that pounce.
They've heard the players though.
Yeah, they just want to toss the nade first. Lord Stars, they know, as long as they delay the fight, the longer even they will stay alive. Maybe just want to avoid that threat, but still moving in tandem, so I like that. Now finally making the courage to actually make that pounce up top as well. And what? How does this even happen? Cyrus is able to find both. Now switching his focus on the 3rd man as well. This SMG, it was devastating. The final man is on the run, and I highly doubt he can run for too long, and he's got his hands on the shotgun as well, but it's still not going to matter. North Star, they're losing this fight, and they're losing it in a real bad manner. Somehow KO, they knock him out of the game.
Lovely stuff coming in from Night Order, especially Zyrus. The way he maintained his calm in that intense situation. 3 players decided to push in on him, and he's managed to take down 2 and escape with murder. Lovely stuff. But as this fight still getting prolonged, Meta Ninjas against Cygnus, and Meta Ninjas, I don't think they have that entire information.
Cygnus can't die.
Yeah, they cannot afford to die over here, Because if they do, there's no coming back.
The game's done. They will be eliminated. And Cygnus, with just a two-man squad, what do you do? Oh my god. This is diabolical. Now doing anything in this position, it's going to be extremely tough. Cygnus just needs to play passive, hold down the angles, create a crossfire, wait for Metaninja to walk in those angles. But as of now, you move on towards Hellraisers, and it seems like Hellraisers, they found themselves in real hell. Yes, the trades do happen, but actually in the favor of Hellraisers. They're the one to come out on top in this duel. Yes, even they do lose out on a few bodies, but it's fine. Still, it's recoverable.
There's a player called Spyro. He's gotten a couple of finishes, but right now at this point he's knocked out as Team Aesthetic. Chart from the sidelines. He is dishing out massive amounts of damage there. He's out of grenades. Still has that one Molotov to work with. If it's perfectly placed, then that could inflict some heavy amount of damage. Arjuna has got his smoke gun out. He's deployed some nice cover, at least for his teammates. But even Team Aesthetic need to watch out, because I can see from the back lines, Team INC keeping a close watch on this particular fight. And Jart being the final player alive, Hellraisers, surely they have recuperated, and now they can actually commit in for a fight.
6 frags on the board from Aesthetic. And to be honest, if you look at their condition, it's not looking good. But luckily enough, they've got all the recalls available. So Jot can actually back away and hand out those recalls. But time's running thin, my friend. You gotta be a little bit quick, Jot. Straight up just get inside of the vehicle, hand out those recalls, and then think what you want to do. That's for the later. First, you gotta give those recalls. But still, the man's playing in this max center fixes. It's really concerning. He's not even trying to get those recalls. I guess he just wants to play for the placement.
I don't think there are enough spots available that he can really go. One of the recall towers
Top
around
right.
the northeastern side, yes. But he cannot go there, right? Given Team SF is already keeping a close watch. And he's not going to gamble it. Because we can, of course, see the map, but they can't. And for Team INC, in a kerfuffle against Team SRY, Akuza being taken down, Kirtzy to Viper. As for Baby, he might be in a troubled land. And there you go. Another grenade flung over, and Team SR, one after the other, one after the other. They're just getting taken down, demolished by the players of Team INC.
Solid stuff from INC. Looking at the amount of players they've got standing as well, so they need to go for this recall as well. And that's what INC's going to try to do. They will give it a shot, maybe.
So difficult.
Terminator's knocked out and finished off. Yes, it is difficult, but you might as well still at least give it a shot. There is a recall tower available.
I mean, is it worth it? For just one player, you're going to take all that risk. You already have a decent spot inside the circle. If I were the IGL, I'd rather prefer to stay put with just 3 players and try to execute. I think this is a point where you need to find some better covers for yourself.
Oh my god,
Maybe
Cygnus.
try to take a Cygnus position like where Law is. But for now, even Team ST, they're deciding to close in on the players of INC. That now there's no chance they can think for a recall.
I love this from Law. Law's the only person with the guts. He's actually moving around that recall.
Can he do that?
If he could,
doesn't have a lot
or
of
if
time,
he
but still
can,
stage 4 Necro.
that's going to be really good. Yeah, late stage 4, the recall towers will be deactivated. And yes, Law is actually going to go for it. I see Law crossing. He wants to hand out the recall. He wants to get his teammate back on the board. It's just going to be one recall for Cygnus. But unfortunately, the recall tower, they've been disabled. Oh my god, Law tried it. He gave it all he had. But the recall tower was disabled at the last second. Unfortunate, Law.
Yeah, you got a feel for this man. I mean, props to the efforts, but now he's gonna play the survival game. For Cygnus, just 3 finishes after having such a good start. One little mistake, and now even Meta Ninjas, they're on the receiving end of the stick. S4M going after them piece by piece. They're also getting dismantled. Even Apollo's falling down. Meta Ninjas completely scattered apart. Fear, Shadow, Apollo, 3 of these players knocked out. Everything resting on White Tigers. And now they do not even have the luxury of going for those recalls anymore. Have to take that fight head on. Beast does not have a lot of HP, so White Tiger needs to make the best of the situation. Quick flick and a nice shot there. Instant knock. Needs to maybe get a conversion, and indeed he is actually getting a lot of knocks. But it's going to be Magnus, and he's going to take him down. Meta Ninjas, not the best of starts, but still 10 points. not too shabby either.
Unfortunate stuff for Medinins. Other way they got taken out in the open. All the players were just scattered and knocked out. Not sure what the game plan was there, but definitely a bit of that miscommunication. But at least they've managed to acquire a lot of finish points, so that's going to compensate for it. Heads held high, and now they've found themselves in a bit of a tricky spot as well. And they're actually not even backing away from that fight, still taking it. Unfortunately for the foes, though, slamming 4 men. It's just now 1 man standing, and he's about to get slammed. Utilities tossed against him, Magnus. He's still trying to reposition, stay behind that vehicle. And a knock against the boys is also being found. HHH in a real world of trouble. Primata, he's only got a sliver of HP to play with. Utilities being completely rained down from the side of Hellraisers, and that's going to be the confirmation against the final man of slamming 4 men.
That was such a narrow escape. A very close call for the players of Triple H. As Hellraisers, they're playing really well. 9 finishes already accumulated, and if they get the next 2, that's going to increase their tally to 12. So Hellraisers esports have had a really good start in this one, at least in Rondo. Should instill some confidence in the players. But when you take a look at the circle, really love how F1 have positioned themselves. They've got nothing to worry about, and for Team SD, you have to be slightly careful. EXM closed in on them. 3-1 split going on. There you have another team also getting eliminated. TXM figuring means of an entry. Need to breach in. For that, Marvelous seem to have run out of grenades.
Yeah. No utilities, no smokes either.
No meds also.
Looking real thin. Which is not a good look at all. And then you've also got a team like Speed Trails around you. And Speed Trails, they're not going to be someone that's just going to let go off this game like that. In the previous round, Speed Trails dominated the entire round, securing 85 points in just the span of 6 games, which is impressive. Actually, 81 points. So yeah, for Speed Trails, definitely things have been looking pretty good. They've got the momentum with them. Taking them down, it's going to be tough. Hellraisers on the opposite side of the spectrum, even they've managed to acquire 10 finishes on the block. Hellraisers really dominating this game through. Tenzin, of course, one of those main players. Right now with 3 frags on the board, looking decent. And if you look at the entirety of Hellraisers, everyone's got decent amount of frags. It's well split out.
They've got that aura also kicking in. All courtesy to the beautiful new Royal Pass also. With the Boom Prodigy, you can check it out. But now, coming back, yes, absolutely. Hellraisers, we both have to unanimously agree, Necro, that we have been enjoying watching them so far.
Yeah.
So the initial signs, they've got a strong mindset, they've come in well prepared, they've watched the matches, and their approach is right. And Spyro, he's already gotten 4 finishes for himself, so 2 players are already starting to get into the face of their enemies and start taking fights. At the same time, what I love about this squad is they're not getting impatient. They're waiting for the next circle to build up, and after that, they do also have information about the remainder of the opponents. Everybody's scattered. Not a lot of these teams have come in with all 4 of their players anymore. But for Hellraisers, I think this could be a game which could be converted into a chicken dinner. The caveat being, they have to be very careful of Chart and Cyrus. If they overlook them somehow, then they might be in a little bit of a trouble.
I mean, once again, somewhere down the line, we all expected a good performance from Hellraiser. We knew this is a returning name and they can do really good.
Yeah.
That experience from the past, of course, helping them as well, and knowing exactly how you want to secure that good slot towards the later stages of the tournament. And right now as well, showcasing a methodical and a tactical gameplay. It's really helping him. Patience as well to the maximum. Then you've also got Speed Trail once again, showcasing a lot of patience themselves. This one man is just waiting for someone from the front to make that first move or mistake. And here we go, the first move's already going to be on the block. Arch, his position's compromised. The fact that no one took shots, it's a little bit worrying. Someone should have went for those shots. That could have been a knock right there.
Because they're trying to take it pretty slow. Is that a grenade? Arch,
sticky nade.
Over there, TXM. Alright, finally, their patience is run thin. And they decide to charge in. That's a beautiful knock coming in from Rama. Gets that quick execute as well. As for Speed Trails,
oh no,
that's a response and a half from Cheetah. As now Team Marvelous, not Marvelous anymore. Quickly, the cavalry does arrive, but now suddenly exposed from threat from elsewhere. It is also going to be the players of F1 who are instilling all that hurt. And
Oh
Team
my
Marvelous, oh my god, what an ending to their run in this game.
They get that one frag, but at the cost of their own team getting wiped out. Mistake, problems, everything. And because of that, the issues as well now starting to rise up. And now looking at still fighting. 6 frags on the board. It's been a slow and a methodical gameplay, even from their side. Still fighting was a part of a lot of the fights as well in the past.
Yeah.
Been able to wrap away 6 points. That's pretty good. Look at Hellrisers still continuing their domination and their wrath. They spot out Jot, and eventually Jot's gonna peek out as well. He's got no other option. The blue is on the move. Back against the wall. Hellriser just claiming these elimination points, just ripping the souls apart.
Absolutely loving what Hellrisers are doing once again. They have got that spatial vision, they've got all that information to work around with. They've got that entire western area to themselves right now. But like you said, still fighting. They've also got the northern territory to themselves. F1 Syndicate, got the south. War team still in the mix, and Spit Trails somehow still alive. Rio, he's got a knock on towards Kraken. I think for Speed Trails to have any chances of survival, they need a couple more. And even if they have that, how are they going to capitalize? How are they going to push in? Just 2 players, Necro.
The boys on the opposite side. Speed Trail. Cheetah. He's the person. But yeah, what exactly happened a few seconds back was definitely funny. Speed Trail's losing out on one of their own players, but then later on taking down the opponents just got even easier. All they had to do was just toss utilities in this one little shack, and it was just all gifted to them. Yeah.
And just pray that F1 Syndicate do the rest of the deed. That's what happened. But you got to feel for the players of Team Marvelous there, Necro. I mean, at that point, they did come in with a lot of confidence. They thought they would go for an easy wipe, but what followed after was quite painful to watch. So, as the dust has settled down, everybody is aware of each other's whereabouts. It's all about the next circle doing the trick. Kraken, let's find a knock, and this could be an interesting one because Speed Trails, oh my god, getting taken down one after the other, still fighting. They're also capitalizing on this, and now seems like Speed Trails, they just have Cheetah to work with. So he's going to be that one lonely straggler who's got to let the other fight out, and Tenzin, he's a man on a mission in it.
Let's see how fast this Cheetah is really going to be. He needs to make it inside of the circle, leave that comfort zone. The quicker you are, the faster you can get back to the safety. But what is going to be your next pit stop, my friend? Blue's on the move, which is a good cover for you to hide behind. That's also another thing Cheetah needs to look out for. Out in the open, just proning, slithering. And I'm pretty sure soon there's going to be someone laying their eyes on top of this man. Do not even take those shots. Your only possible way of survival is to actually be quiet and make it behind a cover and just stay quiet till the end.
Usually Cheetah is not such a predator that tends to be hiding around, at least out in the open. But he's really run out of options. But Tenzin, surely he's got a lot of ammunition. And he's got a lot of that willpower as well. Getting knocks after knocks. I'm pretty sure he's going to make that MVP list. The amount of damage he's dishing out. Even in this situation, Hellrisers, they've got a beautiful spread to play with. And along with that, add some cover. But Cheetah, at this point, he can actually go for the bounce. Because still fighting, they know they have to get inside the circle. The only thing that sets Cheetah back is he does not have any grenades or any Molotov. So he cannot really go for those snipes.
Oh no, you can't.